Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mixed Adventures Together. I'm your host, Andrea, and today I'm by myself, but I am going to go over Disney packing lists. So we are officially, as of today's recording date, 31 days away from our cruise. So today I'm just going to go over what we have, what we still need to purchase, and how we are starting to get ready for our Disney cruise. Thanks for joining us. So about 2 weeks ago, I started to realize, oh my goodness, our cruise is getting closer and closer. And immediately I realized we have yet to receive our children's birth certificates with their new names. I booked this cruise, I don't know, what was it, 3 months ago now? It's been 3 months, I think, from January. So yeah, about 3 months ago, I booked this cruise and I put in their last name to match ours because our adoption had already come through. It was kind of my way of being like, this is our way of celebrating the adoption. We're all going to have the same last name. It's going to be amazing. And so I put all of our names in as the same last name. Did not realize that it would take several months to get birth certificates. And I've followed up with the lawyer who filed the request for the birth certificates. And they're like, I don't know what's happening. All over the state of Texas with a lot of the government things, like background checks and stuff like that. I know from my job that they're about 6 months behind in filing paperwork. So I was like, oh no, we're not going to get the new birth certificates with their last names. So that set me off on oh my gosh, this trip is getting super close. We have to get our ducks in a row. First things first is, how do we get the kids on the ship? If and I don't have a birth certificate with the names that I booked the trip in. What travel documents do we need in order to go on this cruise? So that's I started about 2 weeks ago with me going like, oh no, we have stuff to get done. So as far as travel documents, we are going on a cruise out of Port Canaveral. So traveling from Texas to Florida, we are going on an airplane. The kids don't need identification. Joe and I, of course, have our identification, but the kids themselves don't need it. We will travel with their adoption, the declaration of adoption, so that just in case something happens, if we have to take them to a doctor's, we have their medical cards. Everything still has their previous last name on it. And then the adoption decree has their previous last name and how it's transferring to their new last name. So we'll actually carry a binder of information. Each kid will have their own binder of information, birth certificates, medical information, adoption decrees, as well as the contact information for the lawyer that we used. And then contact information of, in case of an emergency, who they can reach out to. So, people in Texas who we can reach out to should something happen to us. My dad, we're still in touch with the kids' former foster family. So we'll put important contact information in this binder. So that's the first thing when you're traveling with children who aren't necessarily like your birth children. There's a lot of documentation that goes along with it. Now, because we are traveling from a port, one thing as far as travel documentation that is required is for Joe and myself, we have passport cards. So we don't have passport books just to go through a cruise. Because we're leaving through that type of port, a seaport, we don't need a passport book, but we do need a passport card. So Joe and I have one from our previous trip. They have not expired yet. I do believe they're good for 5 years, whereas a passport is good for 10 years. So we're probably on our last year of using the passport card and need to renew it. But because Joe and I, we're not flying out of the country, we just, on our first cruise with the Disney Cruise Line, we chose just to use the passport card because it's just as good. If you don't have a passport card, it's a port departure. As far as a sea port departure, you can just use your birth certificate to get back into the country when you come back from your cruise. You just at the, what do they call them? I forget what it's called when you have to show your passport. It's not the embassy, but when you're coming back into the country, you can just show that you are a citizen of the country that you're entering and staying in. and you reside in. And so you could just use your passport to do that. But Joe and I have our passport card, so we won't need to travel with passports. However, we will have to take the children. So the children do not need a passport card to leave the country or to come back in, but we do need to show their birth certificates. So that's why I was like triggered with oh my gosh, we don't have birth certificates for them. We do have their original birth certificates. And then along with the adoption decree, we will be able to take them out of the country and then bring them back in. So we're good with documents as far as that's concerned. We were planning on getting them passport cards, or just something to make it a little more condensed. But I'm going to wait until I get their actual birth certificates that are reflective of their new last names before I get them their actual passports, because those are good for a longer amount of time. And I don't want them to have to go back and forth on their own when they get older, having to fix all the names and stuff like that. So, because, we're also we're getting new social security cards and all that stuff. So I want to wait till we get all that before we get actual government passports and things like that for the kids. So I think we'll be okay as far as travel documents that are required. We have birth certificates for the kids, adoption decree, and then Joe and I have our pass cards. So we're good in as far as that. But when it comes to tomorrow, we actually do our online check-in with Disney Cruise Line. So I'm going to have to input all the information online to show that we're ready. And then Disney Cruise Line will ship us or mail us our luggage tags, so that when we get to the port and have to give them our luggage, we just, the tags will already be ready. We'll already be checked in. They just have to take it and go. We'll just have to remember tip the porters. So that'll be really convenient. And I really like that Disney does that, so that you can be prepared and literally you hand the porters your bag, your luggage, and they take it to your room. So it's really convenient the way that Disney does that. However, what goes in the luggage? So we are only going on a 3-day cruise. So we leave Friday and we disembark on Monday. So our day, similar to previous our Disney cruise trips, we leave super early in the morning. So we're taking the first flight out of Dallas. I think it's 6 o'clock in the morning, or 6:30. And we will land in Orlando around 9 a.m. So we are going to be we have to be packed and ready to go for a super early trip. We will drive ourselves to the airport and park at the airport. And then I just think it's more convenient. I don't want to put anybody out, and I don't know, using an Uber, I don't know. It seems too much. Seems like too much of a cost. Or not cost, convenience sake, to just have my own car waiting and ready for me. But right now I'm just thinking, okay, as I think about the 3 days and breaking them down into outfits and how many we need. Now we're flying on Southwest, so everyone can carry their own luggage, and right, everyone can carry their own one bag free, right? But I really just want to do Joe and myself share a bag, and then the kids share a bag. Ideally, if we could get it all in one, I don't know, I might have to buy those vacuum safe space saver bags so that we could all put it in a single bag. That would be amazing. I may have to look into that. That might be something that we're doing. So what we need is, I really want matching shirts for all 4 of us to wear when we get on the airplane and get on the cruise ship, because there's so many photo opportunities just that first day. So when we went to Disneyland in California last July, the family, the 4 of us wore matching shirts our first day in. Now we were at Disneyland for 4 days. And the rest of the time we just kind of did themed outfits. But the first day we all matched. And I kind of want that same thing for this cruise. It's whether it says our first family cruise or just something. It could just be as simple as family trip 23, something like that, so that we're all matching. And I don't know, I think it's cute when families match. Some people may think it's ridiculous, but at least for this one, leg of the journey, I want us to all have matching shirts. So that's something that I have not gotten yet, but I need to find a way to get us to all match. Then looking at a carry-on bag, one thing that I'm going to make sure I have, because I've looked ahead a little bit at projected weather. The weather in Florida should be around 75 degrees. Monday when we return from the cruise, it's supposed to be 81 with rain. So it's going to be kind of like humid, hot, nice weather in considering it's February. The last time Joe and I went to Florida in February, it was rainy, drizzly, but it wasn't cold. We walked everywhere. So it was not a cold trip at all. So I'm kind of anticipating that it's going to be a little warmer, meaning that when we get on the cruise ship, I think that the kids will be able to go swimming if they want to go swim in the pool. So one thing I want to make sure that I have a backpack that I will use as my carry-on. And I'm going to make sure that it's super cute. It has the tiki room. I bought it on Amazon. I used it in Disneyland over the summer. It was super convenient. It actually held a lot of stuff in it. And so I want to make sure that I bring that backpack and fill it with things the kids could use while we get on the ship. So first off, as I'm saying, because of the weather, I think I need to pack their swimsuits. So I'm going to pack small swimsuits, or I might have them wear their swimsuits under their travel clothing. I think I'll probably just pack it in the backpack, and that way I'm not falsely promising them swimming time if it rains or getting their hopes up if we run out of time. So I might just tuck it into the bottom of my bag just so that they can go swimming as soon as we get there if time allows. So that for sure. You don't need to pack a towel because there'll be towels on deck, but I just want to make sure that if they want to go swimming or want to do something with the water, they'll be able to. So that'll be in my travel bag along with our documents for traveling, birth certificates, the binders, the 2 big binders for the kids that I have to pack, as well as my travel information. Joe will probably keep his own travel information. We will have, of course, like a credit card for emergencies in there. And then we try to travel with on a budget, so we won't carry that much. I will pack snacks in there because of our last travel. I had a grumpy Joe on my hands because we ate breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we didn't eat again until we got on the ship after 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I had a grumpy Joe. So I'm going to pack snacks, not only for Joe, but for the kids. Maybe some meat snacks, meat bars, or some trail mix for them. Some crackers or something like that to help them, just to tide them over between breakfast, an early breakfast and a later lunch. So that will be something that I make sure is in my travel day bag. I will also pack medicine. So we're going to start the kids on Dramamine for motion sickness 2 days prior to getting on the ship. So it's already in their system. Same thing with us. We'll do it 2 days prior to make sure it's in our system. And then I'll make sure there's some of that in there. I will bring with us in my bag any medication. So Joe's on a couple of medications. I like to keep Advil with me because I'm always I'm 40. I'm going to be 42 on this trip. And just any slight jostle seems to make me throw my back out. So I for sure will be traveling with some kind of Advil, some kind of muscle relaxer to help me. And then I will also bring my, I don't really take any other sorts of medication beyond Advil, but I am going to bring anything for an upset stomach. So maybe some what do you call it? Just, antacids to chew on, things like that, just in case the kids get sick or if Joe gets sick or myself. I know that the first night on the cruise, I always get a little motion sickness. So I'm anticipating that I'll be a little motion sick. And the kids have never been on a cruise before, so I'm going to try to make sure I have a nice little first aid kit or medicine kit, just in case anybody gets any upset tummies on our cruise. So I just want to make sure that's already in my bag, ready to go, just in case. So along with my travel bag, the kids will probably have a smaller version where they're going to have like their tablets or and then like some coloring items or like workbooks that they can have to use on the airplane. And then as we travel from the airport to the cruise ship terminals. So we're going to have them have their own little smaller bags with some things to keep them occupied. So maybe I might sneak some more snacks in there, but definitely like their tablets and then their like coloring books or they both like to do word searches. So I might find like a small one that they could just stick in a bag and use that. That way, that'll keep them occupied for a little bit in case, because I hear that there could be some waiting around, right? Obviously, waiting for the airplane to get from Dallas to Florida. I probably will go back to sleep, but the kids on our trip to California, Juan did not sleep at all. Janaya, she kind of went in and out of sleeping. So I just think, yeah, they're definitely going to have to like download a movie or something on their tablet to watch. And then once we get we've decided to take an Uber, like an Uber XL or something, a larger one to carry with our luggage, rather than using the Disney provided transportation, or it's not provided, you have to pay for it, which is what Joe and I did when we first did our cruise, is we paid for the bus that takes you, which again is super convenient because when you're on that bus, they take your luggage and then you don't see your luggage again until you get to your stateroom. We're not going to do that this time because I looked at the prices, and as of January 2nd, 2023, the price for that magical bus is $78 a person. For a family of 4, that's a lot of money, versus right now we just checked, and prices can change on the Uber XL app, from Port Canaveral from the airport in Orlando, MCO, to Port Canaveral, the cost was $60 one way, not including tip, for an Uber XL. So we just figured that's probably what we're going to be doing because it's just more cost effective. It's in the idea of getting on the bus, though it is magical and a fun trip. It's just that's just too much money for us to spend. It's not practical when we can just drive ourselves, or ride in a ride share. So, the kids will have something to keep them occupied during those like transportation gaps that we have to follow through with. So that's my idea right now for helping get organized as far as like what needs to go in my travel bag. Am I organized? Do I have all that stuff set out and ready to go? No, but I know in my head like that's one area that I want to tackle is travel day bags, what needs to go in them. So the only person who won't have like a real travel bag is Joe, because usually he wears like cargo pants or cargo shorts, and so he just uses his pockets as a way to help him travel. But to summarize what items you should consider, we're not traveling with any babies or toddlers, but any kid essentials or baby or toddler essentials, your identification, your port arrival forms, which Disney will send to you prior, any prescription medication, seasickness medication, dollar bills for tipping. So when you drop your luggage off, you need to please tip your porters, extra change of clothing. I would say maybe not full set of cloth clothing, but definitely underwear. I'm always like, you never know what might happen. Always bring an extra pair of clean underwear. And then also like a extra bag to hold, if you do decide to go swimming, an extra bag to hold your wet bathing suits if you change back out to your regular clothing. And then, of course, your cell phone and any chargers. So those are the essential items that you should be carrying with you, not in your luggage, but actually on you. So on your, like when your carry-on bag should contain those things, not be in your luggage, because there's nothing worse than having to wait for your stateroom and your kids are like, I want to go swimming, and you're like, your swimsuit's in our carry-on. I mean, it's not in our luggage, which is on its way to our stateroom, and we can't go there yet. So it's just more convenient to them and more fun for them if they could have everything like that right with them. And then I guess an extra pair of clothing, because what if something happens to your luggage and it gets lost and you have to get on we are not allowing ourselves like a travel day gap. So if our luggage gets lost and we have to get on the cruise ship, what do we do? So I guess having an extra pair of clothing is good. Luckily, we're only going on a 3-day cruise, and they do have a laundry facility. So we could potentially like have another extra emergency set of clothing in our carry-on bags, and then wash what we wear there, and then wear it again, and just go back and forth washing clothes. So I guess there is a benefit to that. Gosh, knock on wood, that does not happen to us, that we lose our luggage. But I could definitely see that. That's why you carry an extra set of clothing with you. Oh my gosh, I've just talked myself into carrying extra set of clothing with me on this trip. So that'll be what's in my carry-on luggage, or all of our carry-on luggage. After looking at carry-on luggage, what I'll do next is look at the different days, what goes in our actual luggage. So obviously we'll be wearing clothing, matching t-shirts to get on the ship. But after a day of traveling, most likely I'm going to insist that everyone jump in the shower, get the muck off from the day, and put on a new outfit. And so the first night tends to be your, I don't know, it's more of your welcome to the ship, of course, right? You have all that fun things, a lot of fun things to do. So probably going to keep it more casual on that day, making sure like the boys have like different shorts to wear, and like a t-shirt. Joe usually will have his polo shirts on for all 3 days. And Janiyah has something like a cute little dress to wear, most likely with the princess on it. I'm probably gonna, for her 3 days, I'm probably going to have everything princess themed. Maybe Princess Tiana, Little Mermaid, of course, and then Minnie Mouse. So those will probably be the 3 cutesy outfits that I get her. We also have ears already. We have a Princess Tiana ear. We have Minnie Mouse ears, and then we have the ones that just kind of clip in Minnie Mouse ears. So most likely that's what's going to be her theme. It's very similar to what we did in July. It's going to be Princess Tiana. Little Mermaid only because we're going on a cruise, and then Minnie Mouse because it's her cruise ship. It's her first time captaining because we're going on the Disney Wish. Juan, most likely I'll stick to the Marvel theme with him. He's not like a Disney bound kind of kid. So most likely I'll just find 3 shirts that he already has. I think he already has a Spider-Man one, Iron Man. And so I'll have to find one more for him. And then the shorts to coordinate with it. He really likes to be matchy for himself. So it's just about coordinating the colors in his outfit. And then myself, I have no clue. I really want to do some Disney bounding. So I'll have to do some Pinteresting and Instagramming to see what I can find. Because I really want a Disney bound with Joe. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do like, I don't know, like Tinkerbell and Peter Pan for Pirates Night. We do have pirate outfits we have one for Juan, and Joe and I have our previous shirts for Pirates Night that we used. But I kind of want a Disney bound with him. I kind of want to do like the lime green, olivey green color of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell for our Disney bounding for Pirates Night. So I'm going to have to do some research and see what I can find. I do want to buy a little girl pirate outfit for Janiyah so that Juan and Janiyah, at least for Pirate Night, will have an outfit. So they'll match together. And then, so they'd be the pirates and we'd be Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Or it could be Wendy Darling. Oh yeah, that might be a little easier than Tinkerbell. I don't really look good in green. I look better in blue. And then, of course, we need to make sure we have cover-ups for our Castaway K, which I don't have any. None of the kids have cover-ups. So that's something else that I need to buy. And then something that was really helpful was baby powder and a paintbrush. That really helps to get sand off of you. And so I need to make sure I have that. We are going to bring one nice dress for formal night. Janiyah really wants to wear a dress that she has. It's a dress she wore on her adoption day. And it's a little bit more fancier. And Juan, we just bought him this cute outfit, like whole suit, bow tie, super adorable outfit. So we'll do one night where we dress up. I'll wear a nice dress and Joe will wear slacks and a nice polo shirt. That's like the clothing options that it's the Bahamas we're going to. So it's going to again be in the 70s. Everything will be lightweight. So of course we'll have to remember to bring like sunglasses, sunscreen, water shoes, because when you go into the beach, those rocks hurt your feet a lot. So water shoes, I need to buy refillable water bottles, of course. And then your normal toiletries, I'll make sure we bring lots of hair gel. In my life, hair gel. Lanyard so that Joe and I can keep the keys with us. I did see somebody brought like something to hang, magnetic hooks to hang like wet towels or wet bathing suits in your bathroom. I thought that was a great idea. Or the hanging closet shelves, just to give you a little bit more opportunity to organize items. So since there's 4 of us, putting maybe like shoes in the little hanging closet shelf. Or putting just like, if there's not enough space, if we run out of space, because I do tend to be an overpacker, it just gives you another spot, another way to organize 4 people. So I probably am going to bring one of those. And then last but not least that I have to think about buying are the door decorations. Joe and I, last time we went on a cruise, we had fun making our own. And so I think the kids will enjoy that, and it kind of just gets you excited for getting started or getting ready for the trip. Is getting those accessories ready for your door. So the doors are all magnetic, and you can put magnets on your door to decorate it. So we can be like, oh, the Gasparo family, or we could do mixed adventures together. I did see some on Amazon for like $11 where we could pre-order them and have them get made. But I think it was more fun to make it ourselves. So no, it won't be super fancy, but it just makes it more personal and gets the family excited about the trip. Also for swimming, just giving them goggles, so they'll get ready for swimming. My kids are not big swimmers. They don't really know how to swim yet, and I tried last summer to teach them. It was really difficult. I'm going to have to give them to swim classes because they won't trust me to not drown them for some reason. So I need to just help them out, make sure that we purchase the safety vest when we go to Castaway Cay, then just making sure I'm extra diligent with him in the pool. Even though I know and I trust the lifeguards there, that'll be something I have to get used to, watching children swim, because I'm just like, I just think you should know how to swim. And for some reason, these 2 kids, they are resistant. They're very arrogant in saying, I already know how to swim. And I'm like, you're about to sink to the bottom of this pool. So some other things that we might have to look at, some extra like glow sticks, extra popcorn, extra things that maybe we don't want to purchase on the ship at the extra prices. So our kids loving cotton candy. So we might, like, for the nights where we have to go to the shows, all the theater shows, we might bring our own cotton candy and like treats like that. Or for the deck parties and things like that, bringing our own little snacks so that we don't have to purchase it for them. It'll just save us in the long run. Again, mixed adventures together. We want to have fun as a family, but we're also very budget conscious. We want to make sure we're doing things in an affordable way. And sometimes these little, like bringing things ahead of time, going to your Five Below, going to your Dollar General and packing that stuff means you don't have to do it on the ship. You don't want to buy sunscreen on a cruise ship. That's going to be setting you back something pretty. You don't want to buy your feminine hygiene products on a cruise ship. That's going to be super expensive. So keeping in mind that, just prepare for all things is going to help you save you money. So yes, you might have an extra, I do overpack, but I tend to plan for worst case scenarios. So with that, that's all I can think of right now. I will follow up and keep do an update podcast or an updated post once I start purchasing things and seeing what I actually do buy. And then after we come back from our cruise, I'll actually share what we actually used. Did I actually overpack? Was it unnecessary? So, oh my gosh, you guys, we're 31 days. We're so excited for our cruise. But keep posted throughout the month of January for our cruise adventure happening in February. And then, of course, Joe and I and the kids will be on here in February to tell you all about our amazing trip, which I know it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. You guys have a happy new year. I hope everything was great. I hope you enjoyed our previous podcasts about New Year's resolutions. Whether or not you made one is on you. I did make one. Even in my podcast, I said, I'm not going to make one this year. I did make one and posted it on my Instagram, and it was about being kinder to myself. Cinderella is my favorite princess, and because she always reminds me to be kind to others. And I just needed a little reminder as well to be kind to myself as I work on my mental health, work on my grief, work on me, making better choices so that I can be healthy for my family, but also happier in the life that I'm living. So Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining me today as we start to prepare for our Disney cruise. Have a great day. Bye.